four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Hello, Friday. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Spencer Raxter, a little extra in that Big D from Darren McCarty here today. Happy to have you with us. Jump in, woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. Get it all in there. We are locked. We are loaded. We are ready to go. Huge Red Wings win yesterday.
That was big. That, honestly, guys, down at the rink, and anybody who was there, you watched it, might have been the complete 60-minute game, front to back. I've been preaching about consistency that I've seen in a long, long time. So I know when we were walking in, I was telling you that, man, they just seemed on top. They had the Rangers' number from the beginning of the game, and it didn't seem, even as Zadina, your boy, Funky Cole Zadina, put them ahead. Then Rasmussen put them up by 2. They didn't stop. We were able to get it up 4-1, and usually it felt, and we've seen it in the past, like in the Edmonton games or on the road, as a couple 2-goal leads and let teams back in. They shut it right down. So what a great team effort, and again, huge win against a huge team and a New York Rangers team, not only at the top of your division, but also a team that had been picking up points. So they were playing well too. So great game last night, doing what they need to do. Now, on to the next one.
On to the next
That's
must win.
Like, so that's where you get last night, maybe today, to enjoy it. But as we round up, we're going to, you could here's a great idea. Tune in to Woodward Sports tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Watch Chomp and Puck. Then I'll get you ready for the Tampa Bay game tomorrow night, which is the next biggest game of the year.
It is, and I'm intrigued. And we're going to talk about the Red Wings coming up in just a couple of minutes. Got some Lions news as well that we will get to that impacts that impacts the salary cap situation. We will discuss all of it. There is a ton to get to. There is no doubt about it. Players starting to be cut, players starting to be released, so all of it's out there. Some draft discussion. It's a Friday. You know, whatever you guys want to get to as well on the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Detroit Dabber, first one in, says, what up, though? What up, though, everybody? Jan says the Red Wings win was awesome, and it was controlling. And full disclosure, I was working last night doing the Oakland game. They got a win, by the way, locked into the 5th seed for the Horizon League tournament, so they get a first-round bye. And you know, I didn't get to catch it in the way that I normally would. I did get caught up on the highlights. I do get goal alerts, so I to some degree I understood the game flow as to what was going on. But that was the takeaway that I had as well, that there was a lot of control for the Red Wings in that game. But we are going to discuss. I got to get this out of the way, though, because I got a couple of chirps on social media about it. This Russell Wilson thing, and you know where I'm at with Russell Wilson. And The Athletic came out with a story yesterday, and they reported that Russell Wilson asked for the Seahawks to fire Pete Carroll and the GM last year. And you know what? He is very quickly taking on an Aaron Rodgers flavor to me. And you guys know my feelings about Aaron Rodgers. This Russell Wilson thing, when are we done with Russell Wilson? Who is he to say they should fire Pete Carroll with his action figure hair and his career low passer rating and his exercising on the aisles of planes and things like that? Why doesn't Russell Wilson just be quiet? And here's an idea. Try being good at quarterback again, Russ. Try that play. Try to do that instead of getting Pete Carroll fired and all this kind of stuff. So you know what, Russell Wilson? Take your $57 million you made last year, because that's what it was. That's the cash you were paid. $57 million for career low passer rating. Worry about getting those numbers up before you worry about Pete Carroll.
No, but here's the whole thing, right? And if you're comparing to Aaron Rodgers, look at what happened where they went from Holmgren to Matt LaFleur. So that really didn't give accountability, because you know what? This year in Denver, the rubber meets the road. You got Sean Payton coming in. So Russ, I gotta think this just gets better. This only gets better, which meaning it gets worse for Russ. That's what I'm saying. This hasn't stopped. But I mean, if Sean Payton or anybody, and I don't think there's a resurrection problem. We talked about this all last year, but
they're married
is this the ultimate deflection? Don't look at my year. Go fire Pete and John.
Yeah, because by the way, Pete Carroll had the Seahawks right at the brink of making the playoffs. Russ, without you and your $57 million and your $31 million dead cap number in 2026. They're married to him.
You can actually, people are wondering, you can actually hate a guy that gets the bag?
Oh, yeah.
You respect the bag you got?
No, yeah, good for you. Hey, you're only worth what somebody's willing to give you.
Hair.
Yeah, you still got action figure hair though. That's not changing. So, it's just something. A couple of people chirped at me on social media about it, so I figured I would give the people what they want. My thoughts on Russell Wilson. There you have it. And you know what, Sean Payton, I hope your bag is guaranteed too, because you got a coach killer at quarterback right now. Admitted coach killer. Reported coach killer, alleged coach killer, whatever you want to say. The moral of the story is they're married to this guy till 2026.
An attempted coach killer.
Attempted coach killer.
He's a killer and an attempted killer.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. There you go. So that made me laugh when people sent that to me on social media. I got a good chuckle out of it. And that's what it is. Jake Wagner says Russell Wilson leaves his dishes in the sink. He probably does.
No water in them either.
No water, yeah. And this stuff gets caked on there.
Cake.
And then whoever's got to come deal with it's got to scrape that stuff off. Detroit Dabber 313. He lives in a fantasy world in his own head. He will always be a problem, in my opinion. Well, he's going to be Denver's problem till at least 2026. He's got a $107 million dead cap number this year, and $85 million next year, and $50 million the year after that. Good luck. Good luck. We're dangerous. And is exercising on the team plane. Good luck. Good luck. You like Pete Carroll, Sam Flannel?
Well, you have to respect Pete Carroll because of what he's done both in college, and he won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. And I think it was even more impressive the way that he led that team. He coached that team who had very, very low expectations coming into the year. It was a running joke that Geno Smith was their starting quarterback, and they made the playoffs. Pete Carroll is a no-doubt Hall of Fame head coach, one of the best of this generation. Say what you want about him. He is going to be in the Hall of Fame. But, to be fair, so is Russell Wilson. Both of them going to get gold jackets.
Can he tarnish the legacy, though?
No.
Can he? How many years of an 85 passer rating can he roll out with?
He can do as much as he wants for the rest of his career. I mean, Ben Wallace had a bunch of terrible years in the row after his Defensive Player of the Years, and he still made the Hall of Fame. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in Seattle Seahawks franchise history. He had 5 seasons in which he threw 30 or more touchdown passes, and he did win a Super Bowl, although he wasn't the main reason.
Although he also lost the Super Bowl.
He also did. And the Super Bowl that the Seahawks won, they had one of the greatest defenses of all time. But I don't want to go too far on the Russell Wilson dismissiveness. Obviously, he was a complete and utter disaster in Denver his one year. His contract is terrible. But he is the best quarterback in Seattle Seahawks history, and he is going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer.
I guess it was him or Dave Craig, right? Like, those were the two choices.
Jim Zorn, Matt Hasselbeck.
I was going to go Zorn.
Jim Zorn. Yeah. But it is. It's just that for me. I wanted to get that out there, and people asked for it. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, listen to Sam Flannel with Ben. He's as bad as you are with Michigan. I deal in fact. He deals in opinion.
It's true.
Is it fact that Ben Wallace had a precipitous drop-off in Chicago, in Cleveland, his second tenure in Detroit? He was terrible, and he still made the Hall of Fame. Russell Wilson is going to be a no-doubt first-ballot Hall of Famer. He had a better prime than Ben Wallace. No doubt about it.
But Ben Wallace did make the Hall of Fame, just like Michigan has won a half a national title since face masks.
That is true, but Michigan did have a big win at Rutgers last night.
Oh, I know. Yeah, big Rutgers. The Big Ten this year, bro.
Sucks.
Oh, my God. Have you checked the standings?
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
It is grim.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more. Best basketball conference in America. Best basketball conference in America, right, Sam Flannel?
No, absolutely not. But Michigan did need that win to bolster their tournament chances, and they held Rutgers to 45 points on the road. I don't care what you say. Rutgers has a winning Big Ten record, and Michigan went in there and held them to 45. And their freshman point guard, Doug McDaniel, Michigan's freshman point guard, is coming of age. Second straight game leading the team in scoring. Michigan has a point guard now. Kobe Buffkin played great. 45 points. Put the clamps on Rutgers. It was beautiful to watch. I got to watch the Red Wings.
I knew that was coming. Put the clamps on Rutgers and that 228th ranked scoring offense of Rutgers. Put the clamps on. Or you could just let Rutgers be Rutgers.
It's not like they were playing Minnesota, Ohio State, or Nebraska. Rutgers is probably a tournament team, at least if they finish the season strongly. That is a quad one win.
And hear it stop.
Only if it's Michigan. I bet if Spencer Raxler was bragging about Michigan State.
Only if it's a Big Ten.
I mean, Michigan State beat Indiana, who's the 17th ranked team in the country.
That is true.
That's a good win.
Quad one win, I was told.
Quad one win, yeah.
And now Sam Flannel's over here going, teach me how to Dougie.
Michigan was dead in the water.
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
Michigan played a good game.
Those girls around here.
The best game of their season against Michigan State at home, and then they went on the road and beat Rutgers, and now if they beat Wisconsin, they are firmly in the driver's seat to make the tournament.
I told you they were going to the tournament.
I know you did, but they have to earn it. It's not just going to be because the blue wall. It's going to be
because they're in the Big Ten.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There's quite a log jam at about 10 and 7. 10 and 7, 9 and 8.
Yeah, it's pretty
Northwestern is actually second in the conference at 11 and 6.
It's like the AL Central, D-Mac, the Big Ten in basketball right now. It's literally the AL Central.
Really?
I got to put it in terms you can relate to, right, D-Mac?
That bad?
Yeah.
That bad.
Chuck Brewer says they don't deserve to be in. They're less than mid. They're getting in.
As of now,
they
don't deserve to be in. They have to finish the season strong. I don't know about that.
They're not. They're tied for second in the Big Ten,
they're
right?
Third.
Tied for third.
Hey,
tied for third.
It's come down to this. Dave Schultz nails it. Flannel pumping up Rutgers to make blue sound better. It's come down to this. Rutgers is a...
It's a road Big Ten win.
Rutgers is having a good year.
Thank you, Spencer. It was a road Big Ten win. Rutgers has a winning record in conference.
It just sounds funny to me. You're pumping up Rutgers to make yourself... I get it.
It's Rutgers. I understand.
I get it, Dave.
D-Mac, just like that, we're back at narrative season, man. Narrative season is open.
Narrative season is never bigger than in college basketball.
No.
That's all your resume is built on, for sure.
How far, I know trade deadline's the beginning of March. When is...
a week from today.
When is the selection? Sunday.
1, 2, 3 Sundays from now.
3 Sundays from now? Well, there we go. Well, look at the narratives playing out. And the kids sitting around watching to see if they'll get in.
Well, just watch, though. Like, when Michigan gets in, I want you guys, if they talk about it, they might not talk about it on the network, but if they do, they'll go away from quad one wins. They won't talk about them. They won't.
Will they be first four in? Or like... have actually...
yeah, they may want to squeeze a good road crowd in Dayton.
Yeah.
They may want to do that.
Michigan versus...
whoever, like, the second Atlantic 10 team is. No, they'll do whoever... Because they want Michigan to win.
Yeah.
So they'll give them, like, that second Atlantic 10 team that gets in.
Michigan could beat North Carolina. North Carolina's trash.
No, they might not get in.
They're probably not going to get in.
They were preseason number 1.
Yeah.
No, they'll put them again. It would be like the same as last year, right? They'll like the 4th Mountain West team in.
Yeah.
And they'll make them come to Dayton, and then the arena will be sold out, and everyone will get what they want.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So wait, guys, been around it for years, man. DMAC, this is the way that it works. But yeah, we are going to get into the Red Wings though, because A, they deserve it. B, they are on the graphic, like literally on the graphic.
And C, I got a trivia question for everybody.
He's got DMAC has a trivia question for you. He was in the building. I want to get his take. It seemed like it was electric down there. So we are going to discuss. Get your thoughts in there, woodwardsports.com chat thread. Tell them about Swiss, Sam Flannel.
Of course. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a January 1st effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
I love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Off and running on a Friday. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Shout out to the people without power. I got a tweet from Rob Brooks that said, I don't have power, but I'm watching on my cell phone.
That's why I'm here.
That's what's up. That's why
I got
D-Mac's
no power.
here.
That's why I'm here.
My parents' power, their power's still out. How you guys living, Spenmo?
I'm surprised I have power, because we always lose power. Like, always. And there was a down power line, like 3 blocks from my house. Like, sparks, fire, everything. But no, we're good.
You know what that means? You're living right, kid.
Yeah.
Living right, pure intentions. I love it.
How about over at the Flannel residence?
We have power but no internet, so I actually had to watch the games last night on my phone. I mean, it's doable, but not quite as fun. I would have liked to enjoy that Red Wings and Michigan win on the big screen. Unfortunately, I could not.
All right. Well, hey, it was a big Red Wings win. 4-1. They dominated the Rangers team.
I mean, like I said in the open, it was probably the most consistent 60-minute game. You know, one of the things, consistency, not only through the season, through the schedule, but through the game. I mean, it's even more of what I've talked about, Neal, just where they're not thinking, they're reacting, they're playing together, they're trusting each other, they're doing the things. It's the implementation of all that practice, what started in training camp, and continuously, right? It's the same thing as having Cristiano on yesterday with his dishes. You're going to continuously bring other people in to beat them down, to put it in the dishwasher, to the sink. So there might be, something there with the consistency, but that's what you're seeing with the Wings. And you're getting it throughout the lineup, right? What a great, you look at it, and I know this, anytime you play your former team or something like that, like Andrew Kopp to get on the scoreboard coming from New York, that fires the team up. Guys want to see that, right? Give it back to your old team. And guys like Philip Zadina, what a goal. Timely goal to go up 2-1. And then relentlessness of Michael Rasmussen and David Perron, and just the power play looking like it worked. Even Hronek scoring to make it 4-1, but they were never out of this game. New York Rangers, a lot of talent, a couple flurries that you'd expect, but nothing where you were like the ice tilted either way. So when you play in the NHL and you're feeling yourself like this, and you're feeling yourself together, and it's not just one guy doing it, but it's a team effort, like they know that. So, I see everybody in the chat thread going, beat Tampa on Saturday, beat Tampa. This is the best this team has played, and the best Detroit Red Wings team going into a Tampa game ever, right? They're clicking on all cylinders, so they just got to continue to do it, because slowly but surely they've worked their way up. And have put themselves in that conversation right in the wild card.
And D-Mac, you brought this up before too, where you said, hey, when we were talking real reckless and about playoffs, and do you want them to get into the playoffs, and do you want them to play Boston? Can you escape Boston? You're like, nah, man, find out where you're at. That's how I view Saturday. Because I was taking a look at the preview in Tampa. They do everything incredibly that you want your Red Wings to do. If you give them a power play, it's a goal. They're the second best in the league at it. They score goals.
Well, here's the analogy. right? And I will say that. Like, I even said that you look at that Ranger team, that's a team that you look at the Wings trying to become, right? That next level. Your Red Wings team might have moved into being a Double-A team, but you're playing your Major League team in Tampa Bay. This is the mirror. Right, this is the system. This is everything where it's Big Brother,
the star power, all of it.
But the systems and the way that they're coached and the way they attack the puck. That's our game. That's what Derek Lalonde, who came from Tampa, Steve Yzerman, who came from Tampa, they instilled it there. It's been instilled there for 8 to 10 years. Here, it's the first year. They do it better. That's why they have cups. That's why they've gone to the Cup Finals for the past 3 years. But in saying that, it gives you something to look forward to. And, Neal, when you look at the schedule, you definitely bookmark this game. Now you've bookmarked this game even more, right? It means everything, not only because of the coaches and the GM and whatever and that sort of rivalry, but you've got to knock these guys off. This is where you're trying to get to. This is the epitome of the league. Right? So these are the waters you want to be in. And the fact that you're here and it's in February, this is as close to, you might as well dial it in. And I see them because remember what I said about they're in playoff mentality now? That's how they're playing. So it's another game, and I think that they're going to be excited to go out and to prove to Tampa that they're not going to be a pushover.
Let's go Red Wings. Sparty says, I went into the office today to check in on Big D Energy Live because I don't have internet. Oh, and I also have to work. So, okay, there is that as well. Justin says, I had to watch on my phone as well, but it was worth it. Paul Thomas says, Flannel Household has 1 power, but no number 2 internet, and no number 3 common sense. So there's that as well. Jack Harrington. Oh, dude, I love it. Jack Harrington's talking about his Islanders and their little plastic model arena that they have wedged into the next door to a racetrack. So that's cool, Jack. We can get it. I do love that we can have these chats, though, Jack. Things change pretty quickly, didn't they? Where we can kind of rib you about the Islanders and their little plastic arena they have. It's very cute, though. It is very cute. Lane Hartman says, playoff appearances for young teams are contagious. Let's get them in there and get that experience. Plus, anything can happen. Zach B, great segue here, D-Mac, because I know you wanted to get to this. What's with these inconsistent cross-checking penalties?
Oh, well, isn't that interesting? And I think we've all seen the meme. So this is the trivia I was talking about, right? There's A, B, and C. 3 photos, right? One of them is a no penalty. One of them is a 2-minute penalty, and one of them is a 5-minute penalty. Can you look at that picture as a layman and tell me specifically which one is which without obviously knowing from watching the game?
They look all very comparable to me, Darren.
So let me break it down. Right, and I brought this up the other day about when Dylan Larkin got the 5-minute major when you see it in the middle there. So, Spenny, throw that up again. The middle one is the 5-minute major Dylan Larkin got called for in Washington. Before, at the home game, you see on the left, that was Jonathan Huberdeau cross-checking Dylan Larkin in the throat, no penalty. And on the right was last night Michael Rasmussen taking a most blatant cross-check as the puck's coming up, and the guy extends his stick. That was a 2-minute penalty. All right. You got it, guys? No idea. I don't know.
Is the cross-check becoming the catch?
But it's exactly what I'm talking about. What I said yesterday, what pissed me off about the Larkin 5, right, is the inconsistency. You don't know. And these refs can't get it together to figure it out consistently. Like, I'm the hockey guy, right? And I shake my head, and everybody's shaking their head. And I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. Other than they blatantly miss it. And should it be reviewed, or should it be but there's got to be some consistency, because there is none, right? Because that's as much of a 5-minute penalty, and especially just coming off. And we can't show it, obviously, but if you saw in the video that Derek Lalonde, he's got a DMAC vocabulary, because he went off and swearing, and you could read his lips, and it was great. But he's saying the exact same thing we're all saying. That's exactly what Larkin got a 5 for. So it's the consistency, right? Neal, if you don't give Larkin a 5, then you don't have, then this is a 2-minute, maybe you argue for a 4, but you're not incensed because your guy got screwed out of the game. Thank God we won, right? But these are the little inconsistencies and the frustrations that I have that the other people have. So, guys, no idea.
In the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, you pop the people, no doubt. Justin said, and Larkin got fined $5,000 too.
Well, right. That's the whole thing. It's almost like, come on, man. It's because plays like this, right? If you're inconsistent, that they really do affect the standings, and they really can affect your game, right? By losing your player. I don't get it. What do you see when you see this, Neal? Like what do you guys when you
I
see
think
that as if and I'm trying to bring fans in or explain it, and they go, well, what was that?
I don't know.
Well, 5 minutes? No, I don't know.
You know what I think it is, D-Mac, and mark me on this. You let me know your thoughts, because I think what it is this franchise and the state of the franchise for the last 5 years or the last 10 years and in what it's been. I do think that there is a bad team tax that you pay. Not only free agency, but I think you pay it during the game. I think you pay it on the ice. I think you pay it with the officials. I think you pay it with the media to some degree. And I'm going to do one step short.
And explain that, Neal, because it's more of like a black cloud than it is a conscious effort to go.
I'm going to do a step short of the league hates the Red Wings. I think it's actually the opposite of that. I would think the league would benefit greatly from the Red Wings making Stanley Cup runs. The TV ratings have proven that over time. But to me, it's when you are largely an irrelevant franchise. We can agree, right? In the terms of the NHL Pantheon, the Red Wings have been largely irrelevant for the last 8-ish years. Is that fair? That's fair, right?
10?
Yeah.
I'll go longer.
Yeah, we can get caught up in the semantics of it, but the ideology is universal. It's easy to steal on you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you don't command that respect.
You don't command that respect.
You don't command that respect.
Because my whole thing is that if I watched that even back in our day, and that was Steve Yzerman taking a stick to the head or whatever else, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's why is the lack of respect? Maybe somebody said in the chat thread, the NHL's trying to be as bad as the NFL refs.
And maybe that's it too. Maybe they just are.
I don't get it why it couldn't be reviewed, or like somebody. Why can't the league come out? This is what. Then they don't come out and explain. There's never accountability to referees.
You guys know my stance on that, man. Like I've talked about this forever.
It's just frustrating, but hey, there is some positive, guys. And here's the thing, Spenny, we throw the standings up.
Yep.
Now, if you look at this, guys, here's the thing, and this is why we're Big D Energy, because there's accountability. And if you see right now, they have us in the graphic of the wild card. Okay. Don't worry about it when Neal's going to break your bubble. It's not his fault. It's just the fact that, you know what? It's accountability here. And we realize, digging a little bit deeper, Neal, that's not really the truth. But we're right there. Give him the truth, and I back you 1,000,000% on it.
And I say this, D-Mac, because I want it for real.
Yes.
Like, I want it for real. That's not real.
Right? If you're going to give me something, give me the 5-minute power play. Don't give me in the standings in February.
Technically, the Florida Panthers would have the tiebreaker over the Red Wings because they have more regulation wins. Now, I know that the Red Wings have 3 games, in hand against Florida. However, by the letter of the law, they're not in there yet. They're not in there yet. I want it for real before I accept it.
And I want it for real, too. And when you brought that up to me, that was number 1. So we're right there. And that's what Saturday can do. What do you got?
I just threw something together for you guys that you might want to check out. It's pretty. I thought it was pretty good.
Can't read it.
Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. They are.
But am I wrong? Like, chat was that not and here's, remember the one thing where I said, if you make it a 4-minute penalty and you go over to Larkin and say, I could have called that as a 5, but I seen what you've been going through, right? We're not talking about anything today if that's consistently called a 5-minute penalty. Oh, we lost Larkin. You got this because it is the same play. It's the inconsistency. But, Neal, forget about all that, right? Because we're not crying over spilt milk and everything like that. Regardless, they got it done again.
They got it done again.
They got it done again. That's what playoff teams do. So, hats off. Get ready for tomorrow.
A Dirty Burrito says it's not Neal's fault. It's just his tone. Keaton says, "Oh wow, Neal broke my friggin' heart. I want it for real. I want it for real.
You'll make them better in the long run, Neal.
Absolutely, you know that's what it is. And D-Mac, I started this playoff push. I fathered this playoff push.
You jumped on board. You said officially, and if we go back, I'm on board. We are in a playoff push.
I started this for the entire city.
And what has happened since then? I believe you jumped on with 1 win, so you're 6-1.
I am.
Yeah.
And the one loss I saw coming, I gave it as a get right.
And you gave people the get right. So technically that's a win.
Produce.
So technically who's losing? So it is you. It is you.
Yes.
Pump the Neal tires. I like it.
Yeah, all I do is produce, everybody. It's because I work out at Planet Fitness.
And I figured it out last night. Yeah, it is. Hold on. But Spenny didn't get you right last night with the Larkin goal pick. But
we'll discuss that when we come back.
It's the beard. You will?
It is. Yeah, okay. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
All right.
But I produce because I work out at Planet Fitness. It's home of the judgment-free zone. You can work out for just $10 a month. I have the black card, however. I have access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world with unlimited guest privileges. It's the best deal, like financially, in the gym game today. They're not gonna have you coming in there making you pay $65 a month or this other crazy talk that some of these other gyms do. Hey, you got a rock wall, cool. Charge you $70 a month. Get out of here with that. Planet Fitness is where it is at. Black Card members get the unlimited guest privileges, the hydro massage, the tanning, all of it, and more. Jump on that computer, go to planetfitness.com, or pull in the parking lot. You'll pass a couple on the way home. D-Mac, with the kids on vacay, I'm going to go to Planet Fitness after the show today.
Wow.
With no time constraint, so we're going to get it in because it's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
No matter what time, your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, cruising through a Friday. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter with you. Happy to have you along for the ride. And, you know, we're talking some hockey. Why not? And Steve O'Baby says, Neal, you also started the playoff push for the Detroit Lions. I did. I fathered this playoff push. I know a lot of people in the media in this town are talking about it. I started this, D-Mac. Damn it.
I'll back you. When did we start? Just let's move it back. It
was a couple weeks ago.
I like it.
And the one game they did lose, I got you right on it. Detroit Dabber 313. Spencer's get right, on the other hand, was a no-go. And Spenny.
Yeah.
I admired where you were at. I liked it. I liked the return. I liked the size of it. Mm-hmm. All of it. I liked it all. But it's deep out here in these get right waters because I saw people chirping on social media about it. Mm-hmm. I saw you responded to it.
Yeah.
when you're out there and you're twisting in the wind, it's a pretty intimidating place, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, but I don't care. I don't care. They got the win. That's all I care about.
I like it. Head and heart, baby.
Yep.
Sacrifice $1 for the win.
Yep.
Right? Absolutely.
So how do you like being on display like that? Is it nerve-wracking?
Nah.
No?
Yeah. I can take it.
Dude, he works with Easy every day.
That is true.
Kids made us nerves of steel.
Yeah, that is true. I can't retroactively take credit for it, obviously. I did mean to bring that up with Michigan yesterday. When I saw 5.5, I knew that was a gimme, and I forgot to bring it up.
Should have made that a get right.
Yeah, I was going to. That was my intent, but I forgot about it.
And you would have said you weren't pro-Michigan, you were anti-Rutgers, because that's what Neal Ruhl does.
Well, because I am anti-Rutgers.
Just like you were anti-Iowa, not pro-Michigan.
I mean, that was an easy one.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You're not betting on Michigan. You're betting against Iowa.
Michigan's never worth betting over because they never win anything, right?
No, I bet on them last year as part of the 35-13 extravaganza. I had them at Nebraska last year.
They were home against Nebraska.
No, last year. The year before.
The year before when they. Yeah, that was a close one. That was Taylor Martinez had to fumble.
I knew the whole time. There was never a doubt. Mike G says, "Go blue, Neal." Absolutely. Go blue. But yeah, just wrapping up that Red Wings discussion. They are on the graphic. They're not technically in, despite what other people have said. But they can fix that. And it's Saturday night,
here's
man.
the thing.
Tampa's coming to town.
Remember how a few weeks ago we got a little salty because everybody wasn't, the pundits around the league or whatever, were just dismissing
Discounting
Detroit,
them.
not talking about them. Detroit's in everybody's
Paul Woods turned me on to that one, the color commentator for Red Wings Radio. I'm different than most in this town. I'll give other people credit for stuff that I say.
Woodsy nailed it as far as watching this team and the fact of, I agree with them that they'd probably stand put, and building the foundation. We said it yesterday. Since Stevie's been here, this is sort of all what has happened, and now it's coming to fruition. But it's impressive. But it seems everywhere you turn now, they got Detroit, or you're reading about Detroit and stuff like that. And that just tells me that the league sees them as for real.
No, and it is true. Mike G also said, "Rule breaker, nice to see Funky Cold Zadina Moose Pot goals last night." And I was thinking about this last night when I was driving home and kind of listening to the post game for the Red Wings on the radio. Here's the deal. Through this run, because your guys are your guys, right? Larkin's been a point-a-game guy. He stepped up his play. There is no doubt about it. But to me, D-Mac, the reason they're winning these games, like last night with Zadina, did anybody expect Zadina to score? I certainly did not. The game the other night in Washington, when Suter gets 2 goals. Did you expect that? Nobody in the world had that as well. D-Mac, for as much credit as the Stars get, and rightfully so, when you win in professional sports, your stars are your stars. That's why they're your stars. You pretty much know what they're going to do. They can take over games and single-handedly get you a win here and there. But in the NHL in particular, D-Mac, you win with goals from Zadina or 2 goals from Suter, or that's how you win in the NHL.
Is that the secret to the success? Your top guys will carry you 8 times out of 10, but it's those other 2 that make the difference, or 7 out of 10. Who's going to step up? You nailed it the other day. Robert Hagg with his first of the year by Suter, right? Kopp, who got his 8th of the year, now you expect him to be more, so you think he's, getting paid. He's one of your top 6. You don't count him, but you got Zadina, you got Rasmussen, who stepped up, and you got Hronek on the point. Guys making things happen. That's the team game. When you can get scoring throughout the lineup, that's what all the championship teams do. Yeah, we all know that all the best players, but who's going to step up and score that key goal and keep playing consistently? Because what it does, Neal, then the big guys don't have to worry specifically about scoring. They know that they got support throughout and they can play the whole game. And you know what? Maybe like last night, it was more important to shut down the Tarasenkos and the Zibanejad and let the other lines score. It shows you why it's imperative to have a great power play, to be able to click on that. That's where you usually, where your top players, where you need them to get your power play goal, timely goal. But no, they're doing it up and down the lineup. Everybody's contributing, and that's a playoff team right now. No one wants to play this team. Not just because they're hot, but because of the consistency that they're bringing it.
I'm going to be locked in Saturday night.
How can you not be?
I'm going to be locked in. And
I'll be watching before my comedy show.
It's going to be one of those games, too, where I'm going to get overly emotional no matter what happens in the aftermath of it all, no matter what happens. And this run of play has earned them. I'm going to walk in like this, D-Mac. This run of play that they've been on has earned them a, quote, freebie. If the worst case scenario happens.
But there's certain kinds of freebies, right? They can't go out and lay an egg. They got to keep playing. Like, they can get beat. If you mean they can lose, is a freebie. But you know what? If they lose a 2-1 game or a 3-2 game, and it's a playoff style hockey game, and you know you had a chance to win, and you know that you've closed the gap between that top team and yourself, you can get a lot of confidence coming out of this. So this really ain't the end all be all game, right? Because you're going in with, can we say, house money?
Yes.
You're looking at this.
That's another way of saying it.
So in saying that, you want to continue. You don't want to lay off the gas or do what you've been doing well. You know, getting a little bit ahead. The biggest game isn't the next game. It's the one after that, right? If you're going to give them house money, who do they play after that? Because no matter what happens, can you bounce back? But again, this is the best chance for them to beat this Tampa Bay team that I've seen in a long time because of the way they're playing.
D-Mac, how electric was it down there last night?
It was awesome. It was awesome because it just gets you, and anybody who was in the building and stuff and could feel it and vibe it and I still think it's got a few more octaves that it can get to when it's real. But it felt like a playoff game, a different atmosphere, everybody into it. You know, it honestly, that was the other time, and I bring it up where I know, right? Like you walked in the first game and you were like, okay, I see something different.
It's an NHL team. Yes.
When I watched last year, and they killed a penalty, and they blocked like 8 shots on this PK, and I heard everybody, the fans, get into it and appreciate. That reminded me of Joe Louis Arena. And last night there was a couple snippets of Joe Louis. I was up when Rasmussen scored the third goal. I was up in the gondola at that end watching it, and you just see everybody. I came out of my feet. Everybody came out of their feet, but that was a constant. There's that buzz, and it's in the air.
No, and it is. And by the way, they have the back-to-back at Ottawa, the makeup from the winter storm.
So you see what I'm talking about, right? Look at how
That's tough,
this
bro.
2 points or even getting this point. Yeah, this got to be tough. But again, these are the guys. What did I say? So here's the team. Remember, I hope at the end of the season that they're playing 2 games and they got to win them to get in the playoffs. Well, here's your 2 games near the end of the season against the team that you're fighting for those spots. You go out, and Neal, here's the best part, right? You can separate. Remember we said 4-point game? You make an 8-point game, take those 4 points from Ottawa.
You could sink their battleship,
You could sink their battle. That's what I'm saying. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got task at hand Saturday night, but it's exciting.
All I know is, man, we're not, collectively as a Detroit sports fandom, we're not in the cardiovascular shape to run this until April 13th. We're not, Spenny. We don't have this in the arsenal,
man. Good thing we only got 1 team. And good thing, like, the Lions gave us, like the prep to get into it, the excitement. So
this is going till tax day almost, everybody.
Yeah. Are we going to see a little April in the D?
We'll have to see. Hockey? It remains to be seen. Tell them about Alta.
If you get your way, well, we're talking about uptime matters, goals matter, everything. You know at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment is everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project coming up, Alta Rent. They got you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
The Fowling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fowling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go to check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at fowlingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Those are the players in the game. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. That's where you guys come in. Give us your thoughts. We are going to talk some NFL football. And the Red Wings, man, huge game on Saturday night. I'll be locked into that. We're going to see, man. We're going to see where they're at. What do you got, D-Mac?
Mike G. Wings had 22 block shots, and my kid bagged 3 cotton candies. It was a good day, like Ice Cube said.
Yeah, that does sound like a good day. That does sound like a good day. NFL news. So we got some Lion stuff to get to as well. I promised it earlier. Michael Brockers has been released.
He gone.
So that is it for Michael Brockers. And you guys are going to laugh at this. Woodward Sports had it out yesterday. That will clear about $10 million in cap space for the season. And you guys know where I am, right? Big financial guy, love it, stuff like that. Spot Track is my thing. That's where I live. I kept refreshing it this morning like it was my bank app, waiting for a check to clear. You know what I wanted to see? That cap space hit the balance.
You want to see that money go up, availability, and it moved.
And there it is, and there it sits right now. So your Detroit Lions now $25.9 million in cap space for the offseason. They are ready to rock and roll. That puts them 11th in the league at 25.9. There's a big fall off between the Lions at 11th at $26 million and the Cardinals at 12th at $12.7. Now remember, this is the time of the year where you get the financial angling, and through some creative accounting and some options that you can do, you can change your cap situation drastically. But one of the fallouts of that was what we saw with the Los Angeles Rams, and Bobby Wagner was cut. And everybody fired up the propaganda machines around town. Is he a fit? 248. Those are always my favorite shows. I think it's a little early. I'm not ready to do that. I know you guys are around. What was kind of the sentiment? Because, right, the easy button answer is, yeah, bring him in.
No. Here's the question. Is Bobby Wagner someone you're going to have a conversation with? It goes back to what Micah Parsons said about no one wants to come to Detroit. But I don't care. We need to sign him. No. Is he want to have that conversation? That's where it starts, because he probably might not want to, right? Super Bowl champion, all this other stuff, but he might want to, Neal. So are you picking up the phone and having that conversation? Absolutely. He falls into line, same sort of guy as the Levante David, the 2-year middle linebacker. Are you going to pay it? It all depends what the money is. It all depends on if it plays out. But my question back, isn't Bobby Wagner the type of guy we were talking about yesterday that could work here if he wanted to be here? Right? If everything worked out and he wanted to be here. He's a guy with a choice. Now, would you say, Spenny, he's been an all-pro every year or whatever? So, is that the guy you want to bring in? Obviously, cutting Brockers and bringing $10 million more. The bottom line, whether you do or you don't or whatever, is it part of a conversation? I believe it is. And it doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute conversation, it's changed. Because I think that even Bobby Wagner might be saying what's in Detroit. If he doesn't and he wants to go for the bag, God bless him. But it's about the option. And I think that there's an option of a conversation. So the conversation is going to have, in Holmes we trust. We agree he's talented enough. He's the guy in the middle. He can cover. He can do all that. He'd fit what we were talking about as bringing in that linebacker that we were talking about yesterday. So wait and see.
RJ Graham says, damn, we couldn't trade Brockers. No, because he carried a $13 million salary for next year. So the heavy lifting with Brockers' contract was done. So it was only $3 million of dead cap. So you take your $3 million off the 13, and that's where your $10 million in cap savings comes. Because you chose for him to cost you $3 million against your cap as opposed to pay him $13 million to stay. So that's the gist of it there, RJ. So yeah, no one was taking him for 13 and having to pay him $13 million next year. So the cut was the only option. But the good news is, like I said, most of the heavy lifting was done on the contracts. And don't get it twisted too. That's where Brad Holmes has excelled. Most of the heavy lifting is done in all the big contracts. That's why the Lions have a leg up, and you'll see this shine. And I'm not saying that it's going to result in this, right? And the Bobby Wagner mania that everyone got swept up in. Look, I get it, and D-Mac's right, absolutely right. Bobby Wagner has to establish what he wants. And when I say what he wants, what does he value? Does he want another Super Bowl? Does he want to juice a third year on a contract, or maybe a fourth year on a contract? Is money the most important thing? Because I would imagine at his age, this is the last biggest deal he's going to sign. So what's important to him? He's won already, right? He's already got a championship in tow. So it's one of those things where, what does Bobby Wagner want? Because I know what I want if I'm Bobby Wagner. I've won. I want the bag. And depending on who's desperate enough to do it, that tells me what the fit is for the Detroit Lions. Because I think Brad Holmes, as I just brought up that point, most of the heavy lifting's done. I think that Brad Holmes has proven time and time and time again, a lot like Steve Yzerman, for it to make sense, it's got to make dollars. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And he's not going to do something foolish. He's not.
No, well, you nailed it too. Let's wait and see what he wants.
What does he want?
What does he want? Because nobody knows. He could be saying, I want to leave my legacy and whatever. I guess my question to you, Neal, what contract, say it's like a 2-year contract, at what money would make sense for Detroit if he'd be willing to take? Like, he's going to get some, if somebody wants to pay him, they're going to pay him. I'm not saying pay him, but what is a guy of his caliber? What did he make last year? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is he a $12 million guy?
He's on a 5-year, $50 million contract.
So $10 million guy. So are you going to pay? Is this a guy? So, are you going to pay him? 2 years, $25 million or something? I don't know. Would he want to be here to establish that? Again, these are questions, right, that are legit for our organization that we never have in the past. That's all I'm saying.
Spenmo, it's interesting to me looking at Wagner's setup. Rams only saving about $3.5 million by cutting him.
Yeah.
They're throwing in the towel.
Yeah, I think they're just letting him go.
Like I'm talking about like organizationally,
mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't make sense on paper for me to cut. Right? Like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I'd rather have Bobby Wagner, the player. Now, I don't know the intricacies. Maybe Wagner said, hey,
I think that it's probably one of those, let me go, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see the Rams sort of doing that with a lot of their veteran players, right? Came in to try to do something, and now, like with the Wagner, like this, I'm not talking like Aaron Donald and guys like that, but with the Wagner, maybe it was his choice. Maybe that's part of it, Neal. Maybe the part of it that he wants to go somewhere else and be effective. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it was. Maybe he said, hey, Sean, I'm going to see what Brad wants in Detroit, but I think I can go help those guys. Maybe that was a conversation.
Yeah. Sturgeon says he wasn't cut, they mutually parted ways. Right, which means he got released. Like, that's how that works. It's just I get that feeling the Rams are bagging it right now. I wonder if McVay's going to dip. You gotta ask those questions, right? WoodwardSports.com chat thread, MPWMU says Neal Buffett, Jack Harrington, Neal the cap space guy, Machiavelli sucks to go, LOL, Neal waiting for my check to clear, Ruhl. You guys are on one. Neal Berkshire Hathaway Ruhl.
Ooh, nice. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so, it is. It's just, I wonder what that's going to look like. And that's what it comes down to for me. But here's the other thing, too. And everyone in this town's doing this right now. I'm stopping short of saying I got a problem with it. You're the betting favorite to win the division, which means you're the betting favorite to host a playoff game, which means you're the franchise that's on the come up. It's time we start acting like it. You know what I'm saying? Every guy that gets cut, we're like, 248, is Bobby Wagner a fit? Oh, will he please come here? You're fine. You're fine. The way this is set up, you're fine.
Wait, Neal, that doesn't make sense if it is a fit. And you want
No,
conversation.
absolutely.
So not everybody else. Like I seen something earlier. Take a spin on Robert Woods.
No.
That's ridiculous. To me, that's ridiculous. Why? With the receiver core. Any linebacker that comes up and people go, would that be interesting? Instead of go out like in the past. I get what you're saying, but the fact is the conversation to had. Wagner's a guy that should be maybe on your conversation wish list, along with Levante David and Edmonds and all these top linebacker guys. Isn't that a miss? Isn't that a position that we're talking about? That's where if you're looking for a free agent, wouldn't you think it'd be somebody like that?
Yes.
Just because of the need of the team, not a receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wagner's contract, I know you hear it. It's kind of like Mahomes, 10 years, $450 million. Like you hear it and it staggers you. Only $20 million of that was guaranteed. $20 million of that $50 million. There were a bunch of incentives in there. Annually a $2 million incentive, 90% of defensive snaps, plus a playoff berth, plus the Rams are better than the bottom 5 in net points allowed, net yards allowed, and net pass yards allowed per passing play. That was one of the incentives that were in there. So it was creative math. There's no doubt. It's just that's weird to me that they would do that. You're only saving $3.5 million. Bobby Wagner's worth that to be on my team, unless you're in the words of House of Pain, you're packing it up, packing it in.
Pack it up, pack it in.
Yeah.
Let me begin.
Because that's what it seems like to me. So, Rams, see you later. Sports marketing agency that helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This Is the S Word. Helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. The sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Happy to have you along as we pull up towards hour number 2, getting to that weekend. Big weekend. Red Wings Tampa on Saturday night. LCA double dip, Spenmo. Pistons at noon, Red Wings at 8.
Oh, yeah.
Spenmo, you got that in the arsenal, Spenmo? Could you survive it?
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
Even with the 8 o'clock start and the noon start?
Oh, yeah.
That's aggressive, Spenny.
I've done worse.
Well, I know we've all done worse.
Yeah.
I'm saying right now.
Oh, yeah.
How many? How many beers would you knock down?
15 plus, probably.
Woo!
Yeah.
$200 night just on the beer alone.
It'd be a good day.
I would like to see it. I definitely would like to see it. And it's one of those things too.
Oh, can I give an update? Sorry.
Yes.
So I was at LCA last night, and I was doing some stuff with the Tigers season ticket people. We're gonna be good to go for the 999.
Hell yeah.
I already started the conversation, so I'm gonna work on the semantics of it. But come in this summer, we're gonna have it all set up, and it's gonna be good. They were excited. When I brought it up to them, they were excited, and for everybody to come down to the ballpark. But so
big D energy section.
It started. It's in the hopper, so we'll keep everybody because we want everybody to come down and make it a Woodward Sports. I told everybody in the back we're gonna make it a Woodward Sports event day, and Spenny can show out.
So I like to
might even. I was thinking, might make it a show challenge. One competitor from each show. So Spenny's our rep.
Oh, God, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Neal,
800.
Horses for courses,
yes.
Right? So we'll see if the other ones want to compete. But stay tuned. It's going to be probably that afternoon game in the summertime, tentatively. But we're gonna make it a Big D Energy Woodward Sports everybody extravaganza. 9 innings, 9 dogs, 9 beers by our boy Spenmo Rax.
Oh, there is no question.
Can I do it like before 9 innings? Like
yeah,
hey,
you got to just fulfill the requirement.
Listen,
for sure.
Benny, you could do the 9 dogs and 9 beers in 3 innings if you want, and to, show that it's not if you want to get into it. I mean, I'm not going to argue.
Okay.
You want to show
we
out
to meet
in front
up
of the
before,
people
right?
in your hometown.
Oh yeah, got to get the gears turning before. Put a couple down before I walk in the gates.
It's going to be like
if he mixed in some peanuts and some nachos and a pretzel, just
Spenmo's going to be that guy, like when I run a 10K or something like that. I always laughed at the dudes that are warming up, they're running around the track and warm up. I'm like, guys, we're going to run 6 miles, man. It's all out there for you. You don't need to be tacking on extra. Spenmo's going to be that guy.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be at the bar before the 999.
I'll put a couple down at the brass rail before we start.
I laughed too when they said, "Ooh, the 999." That's pretty tough, and I laughed and I said, "You don't know my dog, dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna annihilate this stuff."
Who would be the participants? Obviously, Big D Energy would have Spenmo.
Yeah,
that's a non-negotiable
for sure.
Who would it be from the Final Word?
Final Word, Maz, probably.
Probably Maz.
Yeah.
No shot. Morningwood.
Jeff.
No. I mean, Spenmo minus 10,000.
What are you talking about? We'll fly fish in. He'll give you more competition.
Spenmo, for somebody to bet on you, I would have to advise them to just instead take their money and put it in a bank CD.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a better return.
For sure.
And it's safe.
Can't wait. We'll see.
I'm going to have 5 dogs down before the first inning. Guaranteed.
Hey, maybe I'll get frosty, and maybe maybe we'll let some of the listeners join in.
Well, you understand Javi Baez will strike out in 3 pitches.
That's fair.
So that'll accelerate your timeline.
3 dogs down before he strikes out.
One for every strike.
One for every strike.
Can you eat 3 dogs during a Javi Baez at bat?
I can 2-bite a ballpark, Frank.
During a Javi Baez, that's aggressive.
So I can do it.
You just got to throw 3 sliders and the at bat's over.
That's true. Booner said he wants to try too. He said he tried to do it last year and failed.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
This is going to be cool.
I'm excited.
So
we got to sit. Tell them to sit us far away from normal people.
Oh no, we're gonna sit right next to the thing. No, we're right in the heart of it. I know where I want this to happen.
We got to keep them out of the sunlight.
It's got to be accessible to the dogs and the beers and we'll figure it out. Or we'll get served, but we're gonna figure it out. It's anyways, everybody. It's rolling.
Yeah.
Keep on rolling, baby. Don't
Revolutions.
Stop.
Revolutions.
It's going to be so easy. It's going to be the easiest thing I've ever done.
Jeremy Anderson, let the boys play first. Neal, no, we will. Lions playing. I can't stand the Tigers right now. We'll see what Scott Harris does going forward, but I'm not going to put a lot of investment in them right now. So invest in spending.
Yeah.
Invest in the 999 challenge. Come on out to the ballpark. You don't have to watch the game. You can watch the show.
We probably won't be watching the game.
Yeah.
We'll be watching Spenny.
We will.
Yeah.
Booner said the hot dogs got him.
Yeah, that's weak.
I agree. It's just a hot dog, man.
Yeah, but there's 9 of them.
I know. I'm talking my boy up right here, man.
Oh, he ain't. Dude, he's a machine.
I
This
know
guy
he is.
doesn't even. He puts it in his mouth and it incinerates. He doesn't even have to chew.
Justin says, what game is this event taking place? We will get the details ironed out, and we will have a show announcement to follow. That's a good corporate
It's
way
going
of
to be a
saying
weekend
it.
afternoon game. Probably Saturday afternoon game.
Yeah. That's what it's lining up as. The Glizzies. Spenmo loves him some Glizzies,
I love
man.
Glizzies. When I was up north one time, and all of my friends were tripping on acid, and I didn't.
You smashed Glizzies?
I just drank a bunch of beer, and I ate like 14 campfire hot dogs. It was a great day.
Mike G brings up an interesting question. Spenny would kill the challenge even before getting into the ballpark. Could you eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers in a pregame setting?
Probably, yeah. Definitely 9 beers. 9 hot dogs. It depends. Like I said, it's going to be 5 and 5 done before the 3rd inning. Like,
you're going to get a strong base.
I'm going to get a strong base. I'm going to eat 3 Glizzies in the 1st inning.
I just want to see if you can eat 3 Glizzies during a Baez at bat.
Okay, I mean, we can do that. If he's batting 3rd, it'll be perfect.
Well, that'll be like the mission challenge.
Yeah.
Right? It's not
Yeah.
the main storyline, but here's Spenny going off on these Red Dead Redemption mission challenges. Got to go collect the bounty.
Do what you gotta do,
The
like in
Baez bounty, 3 dogs in within a
Single at bat.
strikeout.
Because you're only going to get a minute and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know he's swinging at the first pitch, so
Yeah. Is it like when he steps up to the plate, boom, I can start?
No, it's when the first pitch is thrown
First
to him.
pitch is thrown, okay.
That'll be the little side challenge.
Yeah.
So save room for
just
3
think
for
of
that.
all the little shenanigans you can think up before then.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, I like it. Tim K says, I could eat 6 hot dogs. That's probably my limit. How many do you think you could eat, D-Mac, during a game?
5.
That's probably where I am, too, and I would hate it. What about you, Sam?
But it all
Flannel?
depends. I might be able to open up my system a little bit more with the proper medication.
There you go.
What about you, Sam Flannel?
I gotta be honest. I think that I could complete this challenge. If Spencer, if you want another challenger, I will gladly step in. I don't think I could do it as fluently as a Spenmo Rex, but I can do it 100%.
Book it. He's in. Yeah. I'm going to sit there and watch him like absolutely drool mustard all down his shirt. So there, perfect. You can be the sidekick to Spenny's challenge. There you go. Riding in the sidecar, Flannel Sam. Good. More entertainment.
Love a good ballpark.
I think Flannel pukes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd
be a bet worth.
I could do the 9 beers, no problem.
Yeah.
No,
That's
easy.
easy.
That's light work.
Yeah.
The 9 hot dogs would be an issue.
That's still pretty easy.
I think, though, that's aggressive. God, I would feel awful for 2 days. I mean, like, awful.
Let me smoke 9 joints and 9 hot dogs. I'm in. I could do it. I could smoke a joint and eat a hot dog. That's easy. That'll be the home challenge.
Alex Farrell says,
baby.
what about this here? Alex Farrell says, 100% I could beat Spenny. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys don't even have a clue. You haven't seen this man.
Alex,
we have a clue.
When we get this lined
We've seen this
up.
man at work. He showed out last year at the opening day, a little bit. The flow was going. If you watch how much was being put down. Put it this way. I'm an alcoholic, right? I mean, like, I used to drink like it was my life depended on it. I'm impressed. I'm impressed because he cannot, because the food also too doesn't slow him down.
Yeah.
He's a machine, and trust me, there's a few people like it.
Robert
appreciate that.
Closia says, Neal, back in your 300-pound days, how many do you think you could have knocked down? I would have done this.
Yeah.
Me and Spenny would be going blow for blow. Blow for blow,
You would have
Spenny.
chirping.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%, Spenny. That's why I want to see you do it.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, I'm going to put down 5 Glizzies, 3 beers before the 3rd inning.
I don't know if I would do that, but I will complete the 999 100%.
Sam Flannel, a little dark horse
I
action
feel
here.
like you can do it too. I feel like it's not that hard, honestly.
You're not normal though, Spenny. Like you're doing classic curse of knowledge right now.
Yeah.
You know, where you just assume everybody lives the way you live and knows what you know. You're not normal.
That's fair.
You're abnormal, not in a bad way.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're built different. That's a cooler way to say it. You are built different.
I know.
And I think you could do it. I think you could do it no problem.
He's like the phenomenal ex-athlete who can't coach because the athlete's just like, why can't you do what I can do?
Come look at the amazing hot dog eating man.
Spend more rocks, the hot dog eating machine.
Hot dogs and beers everywhere he goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And while you're at it, buy war bonds.
All right, let's get puts a gun in the hand.
I do like Friday shows because we do kind of get off on these tangents. We're gonna reel it back in though after D-Mac talks to you about Lady Jane's.
All right, Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's for award-winning haircut experience. Register for once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home. How does $200,000? Yes, $200K sound. Get to Lady Jane's. Register today. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. The people are infatuated with Spend Mo Racks on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I'm Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Pete Smith says, without the beard, his powers may be drained, like that dude, like quote that dude from the Bible.
Samson is his name. Samson.
All right, yeah.
I think it'll be easier. I won't have to worry about mustard blowback.
Yeah, his name was Samson.
There has to be mustard on the glissies, though.
Detroit Dabber says, and if you're built different, custom health centers are here. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, we could absolutely do it. Now keep an eye on it though. D-Mac's already got the wheels turning. We're putting it out there in the universe. It's looking like a Saturday in June or July. Little Saturday afternoon action.
Sounds perfect to me. Wear my Casey Mize jersey.
Wear your Casey Mize jersey, absolutely. I'll wear my Juan Gonzalez jersey.
There we go.
I have one. Apartment. You buying a house one?
I got an old Bobby Higginson one.
Wear yeah. So, 9 Drink says the Tigers need a 5-pound burger challenge like the Whitecaps do. Hey, they need everything that they can get. Wonder if they can do a 9, 9, and 9 with the D-Mac strains.
That's that'll be at one of the events. Yeah. I should do that exactly.
Yeah. Here on Mark M says Samson didn't use a beard trimmer on his beer while tipsy.
It's fair.
That is fair. Yeah. So it is. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to do it, and it will be a very, very good time had by all. Sunday may not be a good time for some, but hey, that's the world we live in.
I'll be good
today. Do you see, real quick, and I'm curious to get Spenmo's take on this one, being the noted golf non-believer that he is. Tyreek Hill said that he would love to play with Jared Goff. I'm not saying it's imminent or anything like that. I am, however, saying, and D-Mac, I go to you for this, for the athlete community. That says a lot about Jared Goff, does it not?
I mean, take it for what it is, but you know what purpose does Tyreek Hill have to come out in saying that except for being honest.
Yeah, his quote was, I like Jared Goff. If I had the option to go play with Jared Goff, I'd go play with them. And doesn't that fly in the face, though, Spenny, of all the he can't throw it downfield community? Like, Tyreek Hill is the ultimate burner.
I mean, he's playing with Tua now.
Wouldn't you...
hey, no Tua slander.
He's my
Neal, wouldn't you,
brother.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you, like, this not, like, pique your interest? Like, so Tyreek Hill, who arguably the fastest guy in the league, and you have the fastest receiver, and you're going, well, if you want to play with him, that means he can probably get him the ball. Now, to Spenny's point, he was playing with Tua, so anybody else would come from Patrick Mahomes. But that's sort of high praise from a fast guy because he's fast. So, yeah, I like to hear it. Maybe there's something there. As far as Goff has a deeper ball or a better ball or working on a better ball, or like, why would he say that? Right? Why would he say that? It's not gonna happen, but he has to say that out of personal feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be true. Like, he wouldn't just come out and say, "Oh, okay," and you want to break it down? Do they have this? You know, what's the purpose of saying that, other than it's just a guy talking for real?
Here's the thing for me, and I'm going to make too much of this. I am, admittedly. That gives Jared Goff some juice to me, man.
Yes.
More juice.
No, you should go like this.
Hey, Sam Flannel looks like he's ate about 9 glizzies right now in the last minute. What's a problem, Sam Flannel?
I'm not. I think you're looking a little bit too much in this. He was asked, and he kind of casually answered while he was on a gaming podcast, I believe.
With Ninja's brother, who is a big Lions fan.
Here's the big question, though. Does this hurt the standing of Tua Tagovailoa? I was told that if Tua is on your team, he just automatically brings winning, and he's a consummate winner.
Now, the math suggests that.
But Tyreek Hill played with him and had one of the best years of his career, to be fair, and now he's talking about wanting to play with another quarterback. That's a knock on Tua's legacy.
Now you're reading too much into this, Sam Flannel.
I think we both might be, to be fair.
No, I'm not reading anything into it like it's eminent or anything like that. I'm just saying that's nice to hear, and it gives Jared Goff some juice in the community. So, Spenmo, you're the hater?
Yeah.
Be honest. What
even more.
I know it won't happen.
Yeah.
But even more, like Colossia said, interestingly, Tyreek was in the middle of playing Call of Duty when he said it, meaning he was telling the truth off the top of his head. He was distracted if somebody's asking him a question. It wasn't, like, calculated.
Yeah. Spenmo, your comments to that.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing Fortnite, and a Lions fan asked him that he was playing with if he wants to do it, so it means nothing to me. Like I said, he's playing with Tua now, so Goff probably has a better deep ball than Tua.
Blasphemous.
Listen. At the end of the day, it's cooler than if he said, "I don't want to play with Jared Goff."
Is that fair?
Yes, that is fair.
I think that is fair. It's just something that I saw that.
It's cool, though, isn't it?
It is.
That's your guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, can we all just, whether you hate him or not, understand that this is the guy moving forward? So if he's getting props from around the rest of the league, it's just the same thing. If guys are talking about your guys, then you're viewed differently, just like we're talking about the GM picking up the phone and talking to free agents. This is part of the temperature.
That's it, too. That does suggest that, D-Mac.
They're talking about your guys. They're calling about your guys. We're talking about free agent guys you never have a chance to get, whether you want them or not. The temperature's changed. How is it not same old Lions? Here's the reason. Oh, Tyreek Hill, he's good, right?
He's all right. Stephen Baffy says, not sure what you would have to give up for Tyreek. I'm not saying that. Hey, guys, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
that's nice. Here. The fact that they're talking about your team and your guys and the guys that you hate on your team that are going to get you to the next level, they're getting respect. That's all it is. Respect on all levels from around the league, front office, fans, players.
Is Spenmo being a denier right now?
No, Spenmo's being Spenmo. He doesn't have to say anything because he's been consistent, but he understands the fact he's in a wait and see. The minute he starts airing it out, like Tyreek says to Jameson Williams, and start making those passes, he's right there. Because he's there, he just doesn't believe it. He thinks Tyreek's just too into the Fortnite game, and he doesn't believe that once he got here, Tyreek would say, "You can't give me the ball." Am I right, Spenny?
Yes.
When you see it, when you see what Tyreek's talking about, maybe that deep ball to our guy,
show us.
Then you'll come out, right?
Exactly.
You've been very consistent. That's the one thing is that I will say is that in your Goff, whenever it comes to Michigan State, that's the way it is. That's a guy who can do 9, 9, and 9. Right there.
I appreciate that.
Stephen Baffy, though, he said, not sure what it take to give up what you have to give up to get Tyreek. He is a great player, but from what I have read, he is a trash person. And it's interesting you brought that up because we're going to talk about that coming up in the show just a little bit. The bit of the dilemma, I guess you could say. And, you know, Sam Flannel got worked up about it in the pre-show. Very, very worked up. Should we just go to it now, Spenmo? What do you think, man? Just call an audible?
No,
wait?
there's only 5 minutes left to say. I want a full segment.
You want a full segment on this one?
For sure.
Sam Flannel was hot.
He was hot. He was yelling.
And we didn't even do it to him.
No.
He brought it. He volunteered it.
Yeah.
He volunteered it to himself. So I thought that was kind of cool. A segue into it, though. I do want to touch on this, and I don't know that we'll get the time to do it, so let's do it now. Speaking of Sam Flannel and his Michigan affinity, Jim Harbaugh is a superhero. Did you know that?
He did a good deed.
He's an absolute superhero.
Do you know what's funny, though? How much you want to bet? And I know you can't really talk too much about it, but what if Greg Campy had done that? You would be waxing poetic. Hell, if Dwayne Casey would have done that, just imagine all the adulation everybody would be giving him. Oh, he's such a great guy. That's why he has to come back and coach the next season, even though he's going to have his 4th consecutive season of leading them to less than 23 wins. But because it's Jim Harbaugh, you've got to say that, oh my God, people are treating it like he's such a superhero. He did a good deed. He did a good deed. That's all it is. I'm not saying he's a superhero. I'm just saying that makes him look good as a person, does it not?
No, here's the deal. See, Sam Flannel, like, I can see through this. And for those of you that don't know, trees fell on a street and blocked the entire street, that blocked humanity's ability to survive. And Jim Harbaugh happened to be driving by, and he helped remove all the trees single-handedly. He picked them all up with one hand and move them out of the street so humanity could continue. And Jim Harbaugh was doing it. And obviously I'm joking, and it's cool that he did it, Sam Flannel, for real. It's cool that he did it. If you can help people, man.
Great to know that he's a human being,
right,
and that he has compassion for others and can help or whatever. Like this part of Jim Harbaugh, this doesn't. Like, if you gave me a question, would Jim Harbaugh stop and help move a tree in the middle of the road? I would say, yeah, he seems like that type of dude.
The evidence
thanks,
shows.
Jim. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with his coaching. Great member of society, of the Ann Arbor community.
Here we go.
I thought you were going to go with it's amazing what gets caught on body cams and what doesn't. I thought that's the angle you were going to go.
Well, that's a different discussion for a different network on a different day.
Wow.
Joey 2 times says, the ultimate sacrifice.
That's my coach. That's my coach.
Mike G says, Coach Jim removed a tree off State Street so I could get to Ashley's now. Let's Go Red Wing Sparty says, if any other coach would have done it, it wouldn't be covered nearly as much, and that's the difference.
I don't know.
Is that fair?
That.
But it's not Jim Harbaugh's fault, right? Like, everybody around him, he's just like probably doing it, and right? Because I don't think it was set up. We all know the weather was the way it was, and he had to go down there. So, I mean, give the guy a break. Like, I'd rather see that. Like, that makes me feel good that he is the compassion that he gives out. If he cares, this is an act of caring. So that's where it's at. Thank you. Good. I hope Jim, Pam, Dawn, to their neighbors, that trees fell down. If they asked you for help, you helped them too. So congratulations, Seth, for being a great human being. That's all it is.
Surprise, surprise, Brandon Katz with his tinfoil hat on. Jim Harbaugh wants a new and bigger contract. These stories are just being promoted by his agent and publicist.
I love the cynicism. Yeah. I do. But you know what, though, Sam Flannel? Yeah. That's not even what popped me about all this. All right? Now, Spenny has it here on the show sheet, and we talked about this through our little text as well. You guys are firing up the engines next year. You tried to play coy before. But I'm seeing the tweets. All Jim Harbaugh's moving trees, and then I see the tweets. Feels like this is the year. # Natty or bust.
2 consecutive Big Ten championships and college football playoff appearances.
Which is good enough for you. You're fine with the way it is, right?
My point was that they obviously came up very, very small against TCU and lost to a better Georgia team the previous
year. Just like they came up very, very small against the Georgia the previous year as well.
Absolutely. But that was more understandable. The TCU one was absolutely egregious. But if you get in the dance, you got guys like J.J. McCarthy coming back, and Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, Will Johnson, Junior Colson, all of these, Mason Graham. This is a team that is loaded. They are probably going to be favored to at least get back to the college football playoffs. So that's not outside the realm of possibility.
Is it Natty or bust? So no, it's not. Like, this is my problem.
Let's let it play out a little bit.
It should 100% be natty or bust.
Why do you let Spencer Raxter and his 5-7 Michigan State fan act all self-righteous that Michigan fans don't want to win enough? Come on, that should be shut down immediately.
I mean, the way you just didn't answer that it's confusing to me. If Michigan State made back-to-back college football playoffs, I'd be saying it's natty or bust.
Hell would have also have frozen over.
That is the next step.
I get it, but
and you're on your high horse of it. Like, do you want them to? Is your expectation for them to win a national championship? Yes or no?
It is. Let me just give one caveat, though. It absolutely is. It would be the greatest season, the greatest accomplishment in Michigan football history, and I think that they can do it. But it's not, if you don't win a national championship, you might as well be Rutgers, you might as well be Nebraska. That's where I'm going to stop short.
I expect more than you do.
There is a level of greatness when it comes.
I just want to reconfirm.
I think that to get back in the playoffs to the 4 teams and whatever like that, and to make that next step, like we were talking last year, is to win a game. And get that it's hard enough to be as it is, right? I don't care what it is, whether it's 2 teams in the Big Ten, it's Ohio State, Michigan, for lack of a better term, then you got to win that to move on. So to me, that's where it starts, being a Final Four finalist. That's what's acceptable. After that, hopefully you learned from the past, but then you can make that next step. Till they make that next step, it doesn't matter. Everything else is a failure, in my mind.
Yeah, if you don't win,
but natty's too, like, you can't. You're not there yet because you haven't even won in the playoffs. So how do you make that jump?
I expect more than Michigan fans do of their own program.
It would be a national failure, but you're acting like Michigan. Nothing should matter. What if they get
nothing should matter? Do you think it matters to Alabama?
But do
you think it matters to Ohio State?
But Neal.
Michigan kicked Ohio State's ass. Come on.
Does it matter to them?
I don't give a shit what it matters to Ohio State. Michigan owns them right now. They've cursed out the 2 years in a row.
That's enough for you.
No, it's not enough.
Yes, it is.
You're acting like Ohio State should have any sort of high horse over Michigan right now. That's asinine.
Why is it asinine?
Go beat us. Go beat us this year. You can't. You guys are soft as Charmin tissue against Michigan. That's a fact. The last couple years, they have been.
I love it. I do love it. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Philippines On Demand. I removed an oversized umbrella from my pina colada, and it wasn't on TV. Nor was it caught on body cam footage, I guess. Cintron! That's right, proud partners with the Pistons, the Red Wings, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. It's fashionable, functional, and fun. If you want premium ingredients in your energy drink, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. If you're going to be there, if you're going to do the Spenmo Racks doubleheader at LCA on Saturday, Pistons at noon, Red Wings at 8, you'll knock back a couple of Cintrons. So you know what? Why wait? Get the cranberry. Try the classic and the sugar-free. You're going to be there all day. You may as well try all 3 of them. If you like what you're tasting, it's pretty simple. Go to drinkcintron.com. You can buy it. You can buy it on Amazon as well. You're welcome. Why wait? Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl for Custom Health Centers, where you can get your customized approach to weight loss. Our own Ryan Ermanni has started that as well. He's down 15 pounds. He's got a six-pack already. We're just playing, but he has started the journey, and he is on his way. Custom Health Centers has over 20,000 success stories. You can be one of them. They've helped many professional athletes lose weight. Former Lions Pro Bowl MVP kicker Eddie Murray. NBA world champion Rick Mahorn, he's down over 50 pounds with Custom Health Centers. He looks great. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health, 844-789-8446. Again, look at that, D-Mac. Look at that. He's rocked. He's yoked. 844-789-THIN. It's Custom Health Centers. On and pushing Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Happy to have you along for the ride. And we talked about this pre-show, and Sam Flannel got really heated about it. And I don't know how many of you have followed the Brandon Miller situation at Alabama.
Brandon Miller, who is the number 3 prospect right now.
Gaining ground,
maybe get up to number 2. Best player on Alabama.
Yes.
Right? Just give a little
number 1
backstory
team, ping pong back and forth, being the number 1 team in the nation. And, it's one of those things for me where, and look, we can talk about it. And, for those of you that followed the events, he had a teammate that shot and killed, allegedly shot and killed another person. And there's been some pushback. Now, obviously, details have come out that Brandon Miller, quote unquote, gave his teammate the gun back. It was his gun, right? Sam Flannel marked me on this, right? I just want to make sure that we're being accurate for the people. Allegedly, Miller delivered the gun to Darius Miles. It was Darius Miles' gun. He was giving it back to him.
Yes.
That's it, right? We're factual on this as to what we've been led to believe. We're being true to this. So the question to me becomes, now he's been talked to by police. He's been cleared of any wrongdoing. So Nate Oates is continuing to play him. He has not been arrested. There was no felony charged against him or anything like that. He was not detained. So the question becomes to me, it comes to me where, because I watched him play, and what he did at South Carolina pumped him 41, and he's 6'9", and he's a wing. I think the floor for him in the NBA is a 3-and-D guy. I think the ceiling is he could be a star in the league. Brandon Katz says legally he's not guilty of murder as an accessory unless he knew the player or intended to commit a murder at the time he gave him the gun. And my understanding is he asked for his gun back, he gave him his gun back, which he legally owned. So the question becomes, where do you guys sit with that? Motown Cool already is ahead of it. Not arrested, no charges, no problem. Now, we've seen this to some degree, and it's been talked about here in the Michigan community, where you go back to the Mozzie Smith situation, where he was actually charged with the felony and was allowed on the team plane and played the rest of the season, which, D-Mac, we discussed. And the police let him go. So he was free to go. And they needed to win the football games. So Mozzie Smith played, which I didn't have a problem with. So I asked a question to everybody out there. When the NBA draft rolls around, are you interested in Brandon Miller? Because I'm going to come clean with you guys. I'm interested in his skill set, no doubt. I'm just being honest.
Now you've nailed it. We were talking about because his floor is 3-and-D.
At 6'9".
And what's his ceiling?
A star.
Right? It's his ceiling. And you were even talking about earlier, this is a guy, right? We know Vic Wembanyama going number 1, and we think Scoot's going number 2, but this guy's moving up the draft board. So the reality is that the Detroit Pistons, this could be your guy.
This could be very much in play.
The question is, are you good with that? And things happen in life, and obviously it was looked into, it was talked about, and judicially. Now it's more of a question of scruples, and from listening to how it went down and whatever else, it's not like he handed him his gun. It was in his bag, whatever like this, but the responsibility. So if you believe that the due diligence was done and whatever like this, if it was a mistake in a bad position, doesn't deter upon the character of the kid or moving forward, then how do you not draft him? I mean, everybody, there's mistakes made. Our questions are being answered, aren't they, by the authorities?
Well, he's free. He's free.
But
he's a free man.
He was interviewed and he was sat down and got in front of it. So even the school and stuff. At the end of the day, is this about winning games and good players? Benefit of the doubt or fast track? But in this situation, I don't have an issue. You know what I'm saying, Neal?
Yeah.
It is the way it is. It's life. This stuff happens all the time. This is an unfortunate ending. But I don't think this kid is responsible for that ending.
Yeah, as it sits right now, Spenmo, would Pistons fans be okay with drafting Brandon Miller?
I would. I'm taking him 2 overall.
And you know what? The more I've watched, and the more I see, and the size and the guards that the Pistons have on the roster already, you need wings in this. You have to have a wing in this league. You have to. And guys that are 6'9", that can defend and shoot it, can finish at the rim.
Yep.
Spenny, I'm getting to be with you, man. And I'm not a police organization. I'm not a detective. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. He's free. So that's my question.
So the people are wondering about, well, what does Sam get so upset about?
So the question was, because Sam Flannel, and I don't want to speak for you, you said you had some reservations, right?
I don't have reservations necessarily about drafting a Brandon Miller because he is so talented. He's one of those guys where if you combine his being the best player in college basketball with his skill set, with what the NBA needs, you look at him as possibly a Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis type guy, just a can't miss. And the only reason he wouldn't be number one is because Victor Wembanyama is in the same draft. My thing is that I don't want to absolve Brandon Miller of just poor judgment. I get it that he might not be criminally liable. My thing was, it seemed like in the conversation before the show, there was kind of more, you tried to equate that to the Mozzie Smith thing. And all I said was, even though Mozzie Smith was charged with something, his gun did not, or the gun, it wasn't Brandon Miller's gun. It was the gun that he gave back to Darius Miles. But Mozzie Smith, there was no murder attached to him in any way, shape, or form.
Right, but he was criminally charged, and Brandon Miller was not.
And that's fair. But can we at least agree that it doesn't look good for Brandon Miller? It showed poor-ish judgment, which is okay because he's a young kid. It's just the best intentions. You could still do things that might lead to bad consequences, even if it wasn't his fault. I'm sure Brandon Miller even feels really bad. Honestly, that's more what it was. It wasn't anything too crazy, but it did get pretty heated before the show.
Yes, it did, as a matter of fact. And my point was, I can't see why there's anybody, especially in this area, especially if you're a Michigan football fan, because I didn't see a lot of dissenters in the Mozzie Smith situation.
Yeah, no.
And I was one that was not a dissenter.
And honestly, yeah, the Mozzie Smith thing, you were one of the few people in media who just said he's not in jail, let him play. And I'm not going to get on my high horse and act like the Mozzie Smith thing was 100% okay and Brandon Miller was not. It's just they both showed poor judgment. Mozzie Smith was criminally charged with something, but with what the end result was of Brandon Miller giving back Darius Miles' gun, I don't think it should just be completely sort of washed away.
And here's the whole thing too, is that both these guys' names have been brought up because we brought up Mozzie Smith for drafting by the Lions.
100%.
So bad judgment, whatever else, and it is an unfortunate situation. Hopefully move on from it for both guys, right? You know what I'm saying? The one thing we did agree with is that it's a deterrent to whatever character or judgment or whatever. Let's see how both of them move on from this and don't let it make this a habit. So at the end of the day, the talent will take over. The talent, you can't deny the talent at the end of the day, and it's, if you ask me, this won't at all affect his draft.
And professional sports are about talent acquisition.
And
that's what it is, man.
So Here's the one thing, right? Because he played the game the other night. Didn't he go off for 40 or something like that?
41.
But in
the teeth of a firestorm.
In the teeth. So
with the crowd chanting guilty.
So Neal,
guilty.
Right, with everybody yelling at him, everybody convict, all this sort of stuff, and he went off. As a guy I want to draft, or a guy that when the heat gets shown down for whatever reason, just as a player, when the heat gets turned up, he balled. That's a guy I want on my team.
Right. And this is what I'm talking about. Like Hoof Hardit says, Mozzie Smith's crime was a paperwork crime. No, it was a gun crime.
I mean, like I said, Mozzie Smith, that was poor judgment as well. He was convicted of something. And
what he did would be legal for him a few days later if he had waited. Seems like no big deal to me.
But he didn't. And
right.
And I'll admit it, but in the grand scheme of things, they both didn't go to jail. They were both technically, I mean, not even technically, they were free to go play, and their respective coaches decided that it was okay for them. I mean, if you want to talk about how you respond to that situation, Brandon Miller, I mean, not even in his personal life, but in his basketball life, he responded in a way that he played the best game of his college basketball career at South Carolina, dropping 41. And I'm saying this as a guy who I believe is the best player in college basketball, who just played the best game of his career.
Like better than Hunter Dickinson?
Well, duh. Obviously. I've never even remotely breached that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What if they were able to draft Brandon Miller and then get Hunter Dickinson? What if they traded back up into the first round to get Hunter Dickinson?
I mean, if Brandon Miller, if all the smoke is kind of clear and the Pistons can get Brandon Miller, I say I don't even care about any of the other picks, honestly. They're out of sight, out of mind.
Big Dan Davis says regarding Brandon Miller, if he didn't know what Miles was going to do once he gave the gun back, is it still bad judgment? And you know what? You can get caught in the semantics of, quote, bad judgment and things like that. The bottom line is it wasn't a crime, man. It wasn't a crime. And I think we've proven around here. I just don't want to hear that when the draft comes around, with the Brandon Miller discussion and all that kind of. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, and just remember, Karl Malone still was able to have an NBA career. Yeah. If you want to look back at what Karl Malone did,
he impregnated a 12-year-old.
His career should have ended before it started. I'm not at all comparing these situations. It's just, it's okay to draft a player with checkered past. And Karl Malone's was as checkered as could have possibly have been. There's a ton of precedent. Like Randy Moss, Allen Iverson, Lawrence Phillips. Lawrence Phillips didn't work out. It happens. And Brandon Miller wasn't even charged with anything. There's no reason not to draft him if everything stays the course.
I know as far as lobster roll goes, I know that there's been precedent set for that, and there's only one that's goated in the lobster roll game.
There's only one course you can go, is if you're trying to get a lobster roll, and that's Cousins Maine Lobster, because Cousins Maine Lobster Food Truck is up for Food Truck of the Year. Make sure you go vote for them at freep.com, Best of Detroit, and follow them on facebook.com/CML Detroit for your chance to win a $300 Visa gift card if they win. Make sure to try Cousins Maine Lobster today. Scan the QR code right there to figure out where they will be next, or order online ahead and earn rewards. Make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Can't get enough Woodward sports content, head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Let Guardian Lime offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. Here's the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserve technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care about anything personal, business, like our boy Sam Flannel. How many straight days of flannel protection?
220.
220 straight days of flannel protection. If you got something that is so important, I need you to call the number. Guardian Alarm, the number, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay on the back of net this Saturday. Nikita Kucherov. Go Wings.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them, Big D Energy, we sent you.
Stay off the power play, too, while you're at it, Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Please. Number 2 power play in the league. Man, it is a red letter day. I think I'm overbuilding it,
Also,
perhaps.
I noticed something that freaked me out when I looked at that standings. Look at Boston's goal differential. They're plus 92 on the year. Like, that is just...
You know it's a small flex, though, on that standing? Look at Carolina's losses.
Yeah.
They've only lost 10. You know, they're always, that Rod Brindamore team is
D-Man.
always that sneaky.
They've won like 15 out of 16.
But what
no
I'm
one's
saying
talking
is that
about them.
we're talking about Boston or whatever. They've only lost 2 less games. This Carolina team, don't count them out. And it's funny because I heard Paul Woods and Ken Cal on the way home talking about teams in the East, and Paul brings up, the Carolina, and he brought up the 10 losses, and Ken chimes in, oh, you mean my preseason Stanley Cup pick, Carolina Hurricanes?
Ooh,
So he's on board.
I
but
like it.
It's just when you pull up that graphic one more time. Take a quick look at this. This is how tough it is. And you're not even showing the teams behind you like the Floridas and the Pittsburghs and everything else. But this is what you're dealing against. And you know what? Be proud because you're right in the middle and you deserve to be there. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Onward and upward.
And you're just a couple points back of the number 1 wild card to a team that has a plastic arena that's in the parking lot of a horse racing track. Like, that's what it is. Sorry. That's what their arena is.
I got a spenny pop. That's all I wanted.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Joey 2 times says Anthony Richardson's odds to be the number 1 overall pick on DraftKings. Open plus 10,000. Last week plus 5,000. Yesterday plus 1,500. Today plus 750.
Did anybody get it up plus 10,000?
No.
What do you make of that? Do you think he's at the end of the day, because you've seen this is the same movie we hear all the time?
I watched every play of that Kentucky-Florida game. I locked in for it. That was Michigan State Day, I want to say. Maybe it wasn't that day, but I remember watching the game.
Richardson, Little Levis, right?
Absolutely, it was. I locked in, and my eyeballs were burnt after watching that. I watched 2 guys.
But Neal, in all reality, though, the way that the NFL goes, somebody's going to panic. Like, something's going to happen.
100%.
Somebody always hits that red button.
Sure.
I think that's sitting at 6. We're in a good spot because somebody's going to panic before.
Yeah,
and
that's
either
fine.
pick, trade, something.
I want them all up there. I want them all taken. I want 4 quarterbacks in the top 4. Because then I'm getting one of the 2 that I want.
Yeah.
Which Spemo asks a question. What's one player in the draft that you can realistically must draft? That you must draft, but it's realistic to get. And you guys are going to laugh at this. But I'm being 1,000,000% serious.
I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to say Jake Moody, man.
I knew you were going to say.
100%.
Third round, you're taking him.
I'm taking him.
I can't argue with you about that.
I'm taking him, and I'm set at kicker for 10 years. And it's off the board.
If you believe that's your guy.
At a very, very low cost. It's a huge discount to market, T-Mac. What did I when I did the Bears financial breakdown, the one thing that stunned me was they have a kicker on the books with a $4.5 million cap hit. Some 30-year-old dude. I'm taking Jake Moody, and I'm forgetting about the kicker spot for a minimum of 4 years. Minimum of 4 years. And look, we laugh at it. That's a very, very important position. It's not until it is.
Well, it's not until it is, and it comes down to if that's your guy. If you're sold that he's your 10-year guy, then I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know specifically if there is one guy. It's the position group, right? You got to find one of these. Can you, with as talented as what you can draft talent, right? Drafting guys that can play. There's a couple things. Can you either get one of these young cornerbacks that's going to develop, right? Not just picking the one that's not, but picking at, and I don't have as much of a problem at 6 if that guy's there, or at 18, right? But I think that cornerback, right, you're trying to find somebody, and the odds are you're not going to find that Sauce Gardner coming out, because there isn't many Sauce Gardners, but you need that guy that's going to be there, right, for 5 years, that's going to come and make an impact to the point that later pick Kirby Joseph did. But you want to make an impact a lot earlier because he's a higher pick. Other than that, and I saw this earlier in the chat, and I was intrigued, or doing your Brad Holmes thing and picking up that guy in the 5th or 6th round, right? That's your James Houston, or even your Evan Brown, that lineman that's going to plug in and play. So I think it's the cornerback. Like, the cornerback is what I'm expecting. You don't
care which one.
I don't care which one because I trust Brad Holmes. He gets the best one for us. But for sure, I think it's that corner.
I'm curious to get the boys' response as well, which we will after I tell you about Big Boy. Everybody settle down. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy, all right? Everybody relax. It's an exciting time. You can't deny Seafood Fest at Big Boy. They have the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, the all-new fish sandwich every Friday during Lent. What's today? It's a Friday.
Oh, yeah.
During Lent. Seafood Fest very much in play. So get to Big Boy. Don't forget the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights. Spenny, what's today?
It's Friday.
What would tonight be?
A Friday night.
Friday night, which means all you can eat fish fry buffet is there. Spenmo, what, 10 pieces if you want?
Yeah.
I love how he's just dismissive of every single number. I love it. Hey, but you'll have to hurry. A, you got to get in line in front of Spenmo, number 1. But number 2, the Seafood Fest. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Shout out.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Chili Peppers Tanning, we find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and if there's any left after Spencer Raxter's done, the Swedish Beauty Lotion.
Oh, yeah.
ChiliPeppersTanning.com. That's a website. Find out which one of the 27 locations work best for you. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans are at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Who's the guy you got to get in the draft? Seeing lots of love for Witherspoon, the corner out of Illinois. What about you, Spenmo? Where are you at?
For me, it's Christian Gonzalez.
That's right.
I love that kid, man. He knows, he's a brother-in-law with David Blau, so that puts him at the top of my list. No, but it's you look at what he can do. He's long, he's lanky, he's great in man coverage, he's good in zone, he can play the ball, great ball skills, great tackler. I want him. I want him bad.
What about you, Sam Flannel?
I don't know if I have a specific player. I'll just give you a scenario, because at 6 and 18, I don't know if you have the ability to say, I must draft this guy. I would say if somebody like a Trenton Simpson or a Drew Sanders or an Emmanuel Forbes falls to 48, I would say one of those type of guys. A linebacker who can maybe start from day one, or a corner who's maybe getting a little undervalued and might be as good as anybody. The picks and the pick sixes say that Emmanuel Forbes was, and I think we all want a playmaker. So a good value defensive starter at 48 that falls.
D-Mac, what do you got popping this weekend, man?
Yeah, Kickers Canton tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Myself, Chrissy Kinney, and Tom Massey will be doing the Slapstick Comedy Tour. That'll be fun. Tonight. Check out, before Wings tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. Check out the new episode of Chomp and Puck. We'll be finishing putting it on. My guest will be Josh Ruhl, the director of the Russian Five. So we got some good stuff in there. Again, I got some great picks to go through. Thanks for everybody to sending in chompandpuck@gmail.com to where your memorabilia pictures and stuff. We'll start talking about it. We're just slowly and surely build this thing and have fun doing it. So, that's pretty much. What about you?
Let me see. What do we have? Oakland, final regular season home game tomorrow at 3 o'clock. ESPN Plus will be on the call for that to get ready for March Madness, because it's getting going, everybody. Like that, it's the greatest time of the year for college basketball. Excited for that. But more than that, got the daddy-daughter dance tonight. With little Liliana.
I remember those.
I'm hyped for it, man.
You should.
And look, a lot of times kid stuff is kid stuff.
Yeah.
This one I get genuinely excited for. Genuinely excited. The energy, man. Like, something about kids, man, when they're having fun.
Yeah.
It's cool to be around. And she loves dancing, man. So I'll get out there. I'll give it a couple steps. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the suit on, get dressed up.
Your daughter's name?
Liliana.
Liliana, does she know where the dishwasher is?
She does, as a matter of fact.
That's what I'm saying. So
yes.
maybe tonight we can work on a little alliance. See, I used to work the daddy-daughter dance, little alliance against the brothers.
Yeah,
just saying.
Absolutely. That's what Steven Syrett said. Where does she put the dishes in the dishwasher? She'll do whatever. It's really wild. Like, I asked Liliana to do something, and she does this crazy thing where she does it.
That's why she's top of the power rankings.
More often than not.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She is going on 8 years old.
Right. So about 5 years that'll change.
I'm already getting a sense of it too. Like it is for real.
Are we gonna love it when Neal's got the teenage years? You know, in a couple years, making the switch.
Liliana certainly. Lorena Rios says draft Liliana. She's had a Coach K-like run at the top of the kid power rankings.
Wow,
she has.
That's it. Well deserved.
She's been up there. Steve-O Baby says, Neal, show us your dance moves. Maybe we'll get some video. We'll get some video content posted for that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. What do you got popping, Sam Flannel?
Not a whole lot. We're kind of still, me and my wife are still in the middle of trying to train our new puppy. It's
Jake.
Yes, Jake.
Does Jake know where the dishwasher is?
Jake actually does know where the dishwasher is. There was a picture, and I wish I would have sent it to Spenny, where he actually jumped in my in-laws' dishwasher because they had to go over. My wife had to go over there yesterday for her work from home. It was very cute, but this is crunch time. This is the time where Jake is obviously still cute and adorable, but he's becoming a little bit more
slipping in
of
the
a pain.
power rankings at the flannel household.
Well, because we had this playpen, and not to be too long-winded, but he kept jumping out of it, so that playpen is completely useless. So now we have to watch him like a hawk with everything that he does.
Hell yeah, Jake. Don't let him tie you
Hey,
down,
Neal,
buddy.
it's coaching.
It is
Starts
coaching.
at the top.
Yep.
No
Certainly
hashtag
does.
wiser plan over
If it
there,
doesn't
that's
work,
for sure.
If it doesn't work, we'll have to hold you accountable.
And Flannel, never like, don't send me pictures of Jake.
Okay. That was my fault. I didn't know we were going to talk about him, but
we'll always talk about it.
Okay.
Spenmo, what do you got popping?
I got a euchre tournament tomorrow with friends. Gonna play some euchre. Cleaned up last time, so hopefully going 2-0.
I was going to say that.
Nice.
I am the most aggressive euchre player.
Yeah.
I'm calling the trump. I don't
you
care.
got to. If you got to trust your partner for one trick every time.
Sometimes two.
Sometimes two. That's a little aggressive.
Hello. You gonna really talk euchre in front of the Canadian? Please, back in your holes, boys.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate everybody tapping in all week long. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back on Monday for D-Mac, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. My name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy. Well, see you later.